So for some of you just joining the multi-tool family, it's really sticker shock when you look at the Leatherman Wave and see that it is $120 for this tool. $120. Now, of course, mine is heavily modified, so mine unfortunately would cost a lot more. But anyway, $120 for the Leatherman Charge. It comes in at now $160. And for the Leatherman Charge TTI, it's around the $200 mark. So for a lot of you, at least some of you, it'll just stand in your way of really even starting a collection, because that really racks up hundreds of dollars super quick with only a couple of tools. So some of you have decided to go into the clone territory. And the clone territory started many, many years ago. So this is actually a clone from Trooper of one of the original waves, the first generation wave. And up until a couple years, this was available on AliExpress. And unfortunately now you can't really even find it, which I think some of you would actually appreciate this because, it's of a tool that's no longer made by Leatherman. But anyway, it disappeared. And it was sort of cool because it did have these gold sort of like thumb studs on it and all kinds of different tools right here on the outside. It definitely was from a different time period. So this was, again, of the first generation wave. Now, one of the tools that sort of ushered in all these clones was the Multi-Force, the Ozark Trail. And I remember watching many videos, tons of videos on the Ozark Trail, the Multi-Force, and people were getting very upset about it. And I remember one video where a guy really said, hey, this is a great tool. And people were upset that he would even say it was close to Leatherman. And he came back and made a response video. But this had a lot of the functions of the Leatherman Wave. It had this diamond file. You had your knife on the outside. You had your saw blade. You had your serrated blade. And then on the inside, you had this standard plier right here. No replaceable wire cutters, but you did have these wire cutters here, and then you sort of had your bottle cap lifter, can opener, large screwdriver, and scissors right here. And then a huge improvement, you had a 1/4 inch bit driver with these ball detents. So this was sort of the tool that ushered in a lot of this wave clone frenzy, I guess you could say. And they have just gotten better over, I think, 1 to 2 years. Just since I've started this channel. So this channel is about 2 years old now. And so just in the past couple of years, there's been a huge leap. Now, one of the other tools that jumped into the fray was this sort of tool. Now, this has sort of disappeared to some extent. It's not near as popular, I don't think, anymore. There's better options out there now, but this was a super cheap tool. At one time, it was $12. And you had this huge set of scissors, again, the knife, file, the saw. It was just incredible value at $12. It came under many, many different names. And then you had this Phillips screwdriver, you had the awl, and then I was always sort of disappointed by this tool set right here on the other side. A strap puller, can opener, and screwdriver bottle cap lifter. I just didn't think it was great, but the outside tools right here actually were pretty good. So those were some of the early, again, wave clones to some extent. But then we got into some unique territories with some really experimental designs, I guess you could say. So again, as the market tried, again, as the Chinese market really started pumping out these wave clones, we got a lot of different designs. This was a tactical design, and I took this to work, and you can see I scraped off the black right here, but it had, again, some different edges right here to the pliers, very different. Again, you had a different design right here on the handle, but again, you had your standard serrated blade, and then you did have the diamond file, the knife, and then on this side, your saw. And then on the inside, I think I've taken out, I've taken out the bit driver, put that on another tool, but then you had not only the 1/4 inch bit driver, but again, the scissors, and then the screwdriver and the can opener. So Then SwissTech has definitely jumped into this game, and they came out with this very unique tool right here. And they had a couple different color variations of these, and essentially these seem to be spray painted, the handles. You can see where it seems like some of that paint is coming off, and I think that's to some extent why they were discontinued, because people probably they didn't get a very good reception to just the coated handles. But these were yanked fairly soon. They weren't up that long, and I think they look really neat. I wish I picked up a couple of the other color variations, but again, these were very similar. We've got the file, we've got the serrated knife, and we've got the saw, and then the regular knife. And then on the inside, we had a little differential because we had a cutting hook, we had the scissors, we had this can opener, wire stripper, bottle cap lifter, and then on this side, instead of the 1/4-inch bit driver, they changed and they had a micro Phillips and a large Phillips and a large flat driver. So that was a little bit different on that tool. Then not too long ago, we got the Work Pro, and this was again a very similar version to that SwissTech, but this came out around the $20 mark. And sometimes if you have Amazon Prime, I've seen it drop down to that $23 mark again. So this is pretty good value actually. And you get that diamond file, serrated blade, large blade. You've got the saw. Then you have the pocket clip, which the SwissTech did not have, which I think makes this a lot more valuable. You had spring-loaded pliers on this, no replaceable wire cutters, but spring-loaded pliers. And then again, you have this double Phillips screwdriver. And then again, on this one, you actually have the cutting hook on this side. And then on this side, you've got the large screwdriver. And then you've got the pair of scissors, the can opener, bottle cap lifter, and the wire stripper. So that was how that tool panned out. And if we're talking about wave clones, this can be a very good value on Amazon. And this to this day, I think is one of the better values. So we'll set this off to the side. I think this is in the contender for one of the best value wave clones, although it's not my favorite. So with the Felissa multi-tool, again, I thought this was the wave of the future. It had the saw, it had again the file, the serrated blade, and the regular blade. And then when you opened it up, it had those replaceable wire cutters, and I thought this was really fantastic. It had a very nice set of scissors on the inside. It had this micro screwdriver, large screwdriver, can opener, bottle cap lifter, can opener, and then on the other side, of course, this really great bit driver and the ruler implements and the crimper here at the bottom. So for a while, I thought this was the tool, but then again, some more tools came to take its place. So that leads us again back to SwissTech, and SwissTech just continues to mix things up. And this time they almost put what it looks like bed liner on the outside. And before you laugh, it actually does give it sort of a cool look. I do like that. I like the red accents right here. Again, maybe it's a little bit different, but I sort of like different sometimes. And it was nice and refreshing to see something different from all the other clones. It seems like there's about 100 or so clones of ones copying this Felissa style, and those are Trail and Silver, Rock Tool, and a bunch of other versions. But it was nice to see something different. So again, with this, we get the Phillips, the small, the large Phillips. We get the straight flat screwdriver. We get, again, that strap cutter or safety cutter. And then we do, again, get this can opener, bottle cap lifter, wire stripper, and the scissors. And so this went back to, again, this sort of original pair of wave style pliers without the replaceable cutters. So that leads us to another SwissTech, and this is the 18-in-1. And this right here does come with a pocket clip. Again, we have this very familiar tool set on the outside where we've got the saw, the file, the two knives. And we have some unique patterns here on the outside. And I think perhaps that was an evolution of things to come, because definitely the outside of these tools has changed. We've got a 1/4-inch bit driver again. And then again, we have some similar tools right here. We have this small micro screwdriver, the pair of scissors right here. We've got this wire stripper and the can opener as well right here. So we've got this, and some of you have said this is your favorite wave clone to date. I did see, I think this comes in around the $30 mark if you get the one without the 1/4-inch bit driver, where it has the two Phillips screwdrivers together. That can be as low as maybe $17 right now during the AliExpress sale. So again, a lot of options out there. Now, some of these options are no longer made. So this one, and I'm not even sure this one right here is even made anymore. I know this one is no longer marketed. And then again, as I mentioned, one of the original, this one right here of the original wave, that's no longer an option. So some of these have definitely come and gone and sort of disappeared. Now, one of the huge contenders that comes into this market is the day of camping, and this is the DL1, I believe. Yes, this is the DL1, and this again has one of, I thought, the perfect tool sets. So we've got the replaceable wire cutters. Again, we've got pocket clip on the outside, which I really like. Then I always mention this got rattly on me, but I really love to use this as a work tool. It still works great. This one, we started seeing these huge outside scissors. And remember, sort of started back with this. A-Tech was one of these brands, but then those scissors sort of disappeared, but now they're back. So now the modern iterations of the Wave have these scissors. So obviously someone in marketing figured out that that's very popular to have it on the outside. So it seems like that may be here to stay. And then we do have, again, this 1/4-inch bit driver. And then on this one, we do have the micro driver, large driver. We've got the all. And then we've got this wire stripper, can opener, bottle cap lifter. On most all these, they do have a place for inches, the rulers, and the metric as well. And then in almost all these, I think you do have a crimper here at the bottom. I don't usually mention that, but that can be very handy if you're an electrician. So most of these, I think, do have that option. So for a while, I thought the DL1 was definitely the best one out there. Byberry made several versions of this as well, pretty much identical as different of these. But I thought that one was the one to beat until I came across just more recently the Shell multi-tool. Now this one right here definitely takes some design cues from the Free series. We see that on the scales right here. And then this one right here does have the serrated blade. I've been cutting cardboard with this one. So some tape right here. And then you do have the knife. And then in this one, actually, the outside scissors, yes, disappeared. And you had the diamond file. You've got, again, the saw diamond file, regular file. You've got the two knives right here. Then when we open this up, again, we have the replaceable wire cutters, 1/4-inch bit driver. We do have the measurements. Got the crimper, and then on this one we did have the micro screwdriver, the large screwdriver, can opener, bottle cap lifter, wire stripper, and scissors. So again, that was familiar, but one of the things that was different was definitely these scales right here. And I felt like of all them I had tested up to this date, this was one of the most well-made and most well put together. Felt the most premium, and it came in about $34. Disappeared from AliExpress, and I think it's back on there again. But this one till recently was definitely my favorite until SQT and Day Camping came out with another two models. Now the SQT has this model. I haven't seen this model on any other company yet, but I'm sure they are soon to follow. And you'll notice that a big change happened on here. Not only the handles look pretty much the same, we've got the same pocket clip, but now once again the plier head has changed. So just like from in the beginning, the Ozark Trail started out, and we definitely saw a change in the plier head to replaceable wire cutters. Now, once again, the clone market has evolved, and now we see a new kind of plier head with wire cutters, more like the Free series. Not only that, but now they are back again to these very large, very nice outside scissors, the knife, the saw right here, and then for the first time we are seeing now a charge like serrated blade where they've added that cutting hook. So definitely they are upping their game. And this one right now, I think is going for around $40. And probably when AliExpress catches up with this, it will be about 30 or so, who knows, but a lot of value. Then on the inside, things are changing as well. So now the tool set is not only this can opener, bottle cap lifter, wire stripper, we still have this large screwdriver here, and we have the awl, but now they've changed and they've added the diamond file on the inside. They've added a micro screwdriver, which is reversible. Got your flat on the one side and then your Phillips on the other. And while the Leatherman screwdriver will fit in here, this will not fit into the Leatherman. Again, all these tools are locking. And again, you have the 1/4 inch bit driver, which is great. And then the roller material right there. And then of course the crimper at the bottom. So big changes, and then huge changes came with this one, the SQT, the day camping, a DL7. And this one again had the brand new plier head. And the crimpers at the bottom, replaceable wire cutters. But now this came with titanium scales. So this again had the 1/4 inch bit driver. Again, you had the roller markings. And again, this is basically the same tool set. We've got that diamond file, regular file, large screwdriver. We've got the bottle cap lifter, the can opener, wire stripper, and we had this micro screwdriver and the awl for the inside tools. Then on the outside, again, we had the knife, we had the saw, we had this, again, charge-like serrated knife with the cutting hook right there. And then we also had the scissors right here as well. So really cool right there. Really unique design. And when I say unique design, I know they're copying Leatherman, but I'm saying it's interesting to watch the evolution of what the makers of these tools think people will like. And they definitely are mixing and matching different Leatherman implements into a unique combination that we're actually not seeing from Leatherman. And so they end up actually pretty nice. So when people ask me, what are the best Leatherman clones out there? There are a ton. And there's more that I don't even have. Again, Rock Tool, they have a titanium coated one that I don't have represented here, but I really wasn't that interested because I think it was essentially just titanium coating on the scales, and that didn't seem that exciting. So I think these right here at the moment are some of the best you can buy. This one goes for about $50 over here, and then on AliExpress it's about $37, $35. This one right here is about $40, and I don't think I've seen a version of this on AliExpress, but this is probably one of the best all-around options I would recommend at the moment. Again, it's coming in at that same mark that the Ozark Trail was at for a long time. So I think the Ozark Trail came in around that $40 mark. It offered a ton of value, but now the SQT, I believe it is. Yeah. SQT right here. This branded tool, I think, offers one of the highest all-around values in the market. It has the pocket clip. Again, it has these really nice scales. Feels like a really well put together tool. Again, it has some great looking pliers right here. Really fantastic scissors as well. These just really slice through paracord. They do an excellent job, and I have a full video on most all of these tools. And then I really like the tool complement on the inside, especially with that micro screwdriver. I think that really sets it apart. And then for those who really want the file, there is at least a small file on the inside. And then of course they have this fantastic 1/4 inch bit driver. Now, if you don't like this design, I still think there is value in both this Work Pro. Again, that's more of an older fashioned design now, but again, it has a lot of value in it. And again, I still like the DL1 style as well. Again, this has the large outside scissors. Again, it's not quite as modern. It's not quite as well put together, but again, it does offer a lot of value for the price point. So let me know in the comments below what you think. What is your favorite Wave clone? And what do you think works the best? And I'll look forward to reading them.